Hi, it's Sarah Southey from the Southey Way, and today I'm with the lovely Tracey Miller from Bigger, Brighter, Bolder, and she's been with the Southey Way for 9 months now, and she's going to tell us a little bit about her experience on the Southey Way and what she's found to be really beneficial and useful.
I am.
So,
hello,
Tracey.
Hi. So excited.
I know, it's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So 9 months, that's a
9
long
months.
time. Can you remember back when you started?
I can remember it like it was yesterday.
Oh dear, were you nervous?
I was very nervous. It was terrifying, actually. So I remember we were sat in a room and you were talking about the Southey Way, and in the back of my mind, so I'd been looking for a little while for something to kind of energise me and motivate me. I knew I needed to get back into training. I did a half marathon about 3, maybe even 4 years ago, and that was the last proper training that I did. So I trained for that, nearly killed myself, was never going to do a marathon ever, and kind of stopped training after that. So I did bits and pieces, but really just 4 years of not properly training. I'm a 46-year-old woman, you can't be not training for 4 years at 46. So you talked a little bit about the Southey Way. I thought, oh God, do I do it? Do I not do it? It was a little bit, it was scary. But, you know, I decided to take the plunge, and frankly, I've not looked back.
Right, so you started with the 12 weeks.
I did.
And it was a little bit of a change, a little bit of a culture
yeah,
shock.
It was a huge culture shock.
Because the Southey Way is all about strength and fitness, so getting strong for your life, and making sure that, you know, your body can work to make sure that you do everything that you want to do to live your life.
Exactly
which,
that.
as business people, it's vitally important.
Yeah.
If your body's not working, you can't run a business.
You're 100% right. And you don't realise, actually, just how, when you've been running a business, so I've been running my business now for 8 years, and it's exhausting running a business. So, you know, you're constantly on the go. Even when you're not on the go, you're constantly thinking about it. Yeah. So, you know, the energy that you expel when you're running your own business is insane. And you get to a point where you realise that actually, unless you do something, unless you create a change, your body is not supporting actually what you want to do. And that's really where I got to. You know, I had so many more things I wanted to do, and I was just running out of energy. And you're constantly, you know, catching up. You start eating shit, you start eating sugar, you start eating all the crap to you know, just keep the energy going and keep going. And that's where I was at.
So this excuse that a lot of people use, that they haven't got the time, and they have too tired to exercise. Did you find that actually when you were doing the programme, you're too tired, or do you think that that's actually helped you? So
in the beginning, I was that person. So I was too tired. I didn't have time. That was why I wasn't going to the gym. It was why I wasn't doing exercise classes. I was just too busy. But you know, what you find is when you're knackered, so you're eating sugar to kind of survive, and actually, in your little kind of downtimes when you need a rest, you're crashing. So, you know, whilst you're saying, you know, you've got no time. Actually, I didn't frankly have time to crash, but when you've crashed, you've crashed, you know, there's nothing you can do about it. So, you know, the Southey Way for me, I do it 3 times a week, and I do it it's about half an hour. So, you know, maybe 45 minutes, including the warm-up and the cool-down, so I'll make sure I do that properly, under strict instruction. But it's probably about 45 minutes. So, you know, and I do it 3 mornings a week, 2 in the week, 1 at the weekend. So, you know, you get into the routine, you get into the habit. It's not, you know, as a business owner, I can shuffle my diary around a little bit, so that's good. But yeah, I mean, it's 45 minutes 3 times a week, you know, it's kind of like, get over it. Yeah, get over it. Just do it, and you will see the benefits, which I have massively.
What benefits have you seen? So
the biggest ones for me, number 1 is energy. So for someone like me, I'm pretty high energy anyway. I expel a lot of energy, in case you hadn't noticed.
Really?
Yeah, I expel a lot of energy. So I want to have a lot of energy, and your body's like a dynamo. So you have to keep, you know, putting the energy in, and it feels counterproductive because when you're knackered, the last thing you want to do is actually go out and, you know, pump some iron and do some exercise. But the reverse is true, you know, actually doing that is what creates the energy. And you're tired in the beginning, so you have to kind of get through that first bit where it does make you temporarily more tired. But if you push through that bit, now I'm in a place where, you know, it is like that dynamo. It's just charging it up. So energy, number 1. The second thing for me is just strength. So I made a pact with Sarah at the beginning of this year. I would not weigh myself at all this year.
Yes.
So like many women, I'm obsessed with my weight. You know, my life will be perfect if I can just reach a certain weight. You know, I'm older now. You know, trying to get back to what I weighed in my 20s, you know, who gives a shit,
Do you
really?
need to, really?
I mean, who cares? You know, what I'm really interested in is, do I feel good in my body? Do I look good? You know, am I confident? And thanks. And that's it for me. So I've really noticed a big shift. And I tell you what's nice is when George notices a big shift. That makes a big difference. So and he has. He's noticed.
Put a sensor on this.
Yeah, maybe. No, I'll censor myself. He has noticed, and that's really nice, you know. So when you get feedback externally, it's a big thing. So definitely strength for me, and how and energy, but how I feel in myself. So, you know, how I feel in my own body, what I'm able to do. Yeah, loving it. Loving it. Big fan.
What surprised you about doing this?
I'll tell you what surprised me is I hate to mention Roger Hick, but I will mention it just one more time. You did a roadshow which we went to, which was all about Lift Your Mind. It was in association with Mind. It was a fantastic initiative. So I went along to that, and I thought I'd lift a few weights just to support you, if I'm honest. So I kind of, you know, went along, lifted a few weights, and actually I ended up in a flipping weight lifting competition with a chap that I networked with, and kicked his ass. So that was awesome. I loved it. And what surprised me was just, you know, I'm kind of lifting the weights thinking I'm lifting the weights, and everyone around me is going, oh my God, that's amazing, you know, you're lifting so much weight. And I'm thinking, but I'm just lifting the weight. I was genuinely thinking
you
that.
You didn't have any idea?
No idea that what I was lifting was a lot. I just thought, well, I'm just lifting. Until you get all this feedback, and then you're thinking, you know, I'm nailing it. So that really surprised me, just how strong I
remember
was.
what you said. What you said was, I hadn't realised how much progress you'd made.
No, I didn't. And you don't, because it is so gradual. You know, you're doing it every week.
It's quite hard work,
the
Southey Way. It is quite hard work. Every half an hour is a hard half an hour.
It is hard. It is. However, number one, it's 3 times a week. Get over it. And it's hard work 3 times a week to feel really good for the rest of the time. I mean, that's a lot of time to feel good for 3 times a week at a half an hour. And the other thing is, it's so varied. So one of the reasons I hate gym and classes and all that crap is I get bored really easily. I've got, in case you hadn't noticed I've got a really short concentration span. So one of the things I love about it is the mix of stuff. You know, there's constantly, there's a different exercise. I never do the same exercise twice in a week. You're always changing it up for me. If there's stuff I really think, oh, do you know what, I'm fed up of that, or I don't want to do that anymore.
See the feedback
I'll
sheet.
let her know. There's a lot of F's on my feedback sheet.
Brilliant. Certainly get a feel of how Tracy's feeling when she's doing the workouts.
I'm very emotional
completely.
person. So I just love the variety. I love you know, some weeks you just don't know what you're going to turn up to. Some weeks I love you, some weeks I don't love you so much, but I always love you at the end.
So what happens now? Where are you going to go?
I am an absolute Southey Way convert. So my plan now is just to progress. Yeah, 9 months in. The first 3 months are the toughest. So you know, you need to push through to get into that. But after that, you just feel yourself getting stronger and stronger, and
the habits there.
The habits there. But also, I find myself challenging myself. You know, I'm starting to push my own boundaries. Got told off a couple of times because of the danger of overtraining, apparently. But you start to kind of challenge yourself and push yourself a little bit, and that's really cool, just to see how much further you're going. So for me, I'm a convert. I'm not going anywhere else. I love it. I'm just going to see where this takes me. And do you know what? I'm thoroughly enjoying not bloody weighing myself either. I'm starting to look really good in my clothes. I don't give a fuck. Can I say fuck?
Yes.
I said fuck. I don't give a fuck. You know, what dress size I am. I'm just really enjoying feeling good in my own body, and yeah, loving it. Loving it. Highly recommend it. Can't recommend it enough.
Brilliant.
Anything else?
Do I need anything else? I think
that's pretty much covered it. All I would say is there's a lot of fear about it. You know, when I first started, you know, it's scary. It's a scary thing to do because it's very different to what most people are used to. You know, I run a membership club. You know, looking at mindset. So one of my biggest fears was starting this and not finishing it. I mean, how crap would I look, you know, as a mindset person? And I was genuinely terrified about that. Yeah. So I understand that this is, you know, a big deal for people. You know, it's a big decision. You got to stick to it, you got to commit, but I promise you the results are there. It really is worth doing it. And the one thing I love is, you know, I have not just picked up the program and, you know, gone on and it's just got better and better and better and better. I have had horrendous days. I've had days when I've suffered with fatigue. I've been ill, you know, all those things. And what Sarah does really brilliantly is just hold your hand every step of the way. So, you know, you can have a crap day and it's okay. You've never once made me feel bad for, you know, thanks, for, you know, for just, I rarely not do it, you know, for bad reasons. Do you know what I mean? There's always a reason, but you know, you've never made me feel bad for it. You've always helped me get back on track. You've always helped me manage the exercises so they're right for me. So yeah, don't be afraid. Just go for it. I promise you there are amazing results at the end for you.
And I'm 100% behind everybody on the Southey Way.
Absolutely.
You can't get
She
away
really
from me.
No, she really is. She's on it. The accountability. Just one thing about the accountability. So I've done various different things before, and there would have been several points along this journey that I would have just stopped. You know, I've had some illness, I've had fatigue, I've had lots of different things along the way that previously would have made me stop, and it's very hard to kind of start again once you've stopped, because it's hard to get the momentum. But what you've done is really kept me on track. So, you know, you've constantly been on at me in a good way, just to, you know, keep at it, and, you know, just get back on the horse each time. And that's what's really created the result, is that, you know, sticking to it, playing the long game,
consistency.
Yeah, and just keep getting back on. You know, when we fall off, everyone falls off.
Everybody falls off.
Yeah, so
Everybody
it's about
falls off.
how
I fall
quickly
off.
do you get back on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been brilliant.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're
very
welcome.
much. Aw.
I love it. Sign up.
Love it.
It's awesome.
Do it.
Do it.